How's it going, everyone? It's basically a little more than 24 hours to the test, and I just wanted to go over a couple things with you, get another video out to help you out. So this is what I got for what you should do before the test if we're within a 24-hour period of time. First of all, I understand that it's probably very stressful. You know, this thing has been coming up a while now. Some of you have been studying over a month, 2 months, the whole summer, putting in a lot of work, a lot of effort, and you kind of don't know what to expect. You don't feel prepared. I totally get it. As long as you put in the time and the effort, you're probably going to be fine. I'll tell you that. But I do have a couple of tips along the way here. But try to stay zen with me, as you can see, and take the stress level down a couple of notches. It's going to be okay. So here's my tips. Don't try to learn everything with as little of this time that you have left right now. So we need to do target work here at this point. Listen, if you haven't started studying at all, you're kind of in a different boat. You're going to have to do a lot of work, especially if you didn't do that well on the June one. If you didn't start, like, you're in kind of a tough position right now, and you should really get going as soon as possible. If you've been studying over the course of the last month or two, whatever it is, since the June Regents, then you're in a great spot. You've been, chipping away. You call your friends, study with them, all that stuff. I would not try to learn everything at this point. You really got to target what we got to do in this last little bit of time that we have. So here's what you should do. Go through the reference table, and I know you've went through this a lot by this point, probably, as long as you've been watching my videos or studying. You know how important the reference table is, but go through it and just read all the words on all the charts. Flip through it, become more familiar with what pages things are on, how the astronomy is structured first, and then the order of what the units go in. Your weather stuff's generally at the back, your rocks are in the middle, things like that. Read all the words on all the charts, though, because that's gonna come back in a second, why that's important. But that's one thing you should definitely familiarize yourself with. The next thing would be prioritize the highest yield topics. What does this mean? Like, spend a lot of time making sure you know your astronomy facts and your plate tectonics, your plate boundaries, like your major things that if you know in your head, you're like, oh, I still don't know the difference between convergent and divergent still after all this time. Like, if you don't know that, like, hit that immediately. Just get that memorized so you know, like, convergent makes mountains, divergent, seafloor spreading, new magma, things like that. High yield topics, the ones that you know are guaranteed to be on it. Okay, hit the vocab. If you're reading through the reference table pages and you're going through all the words on all the charts and you come across a word that you don't understand, you have to look it up. This is a very vocabulary centric test, and if you don't know what the words mean, it's going to be very difficult to answer the questions. If you don't know how to read the words, you're not going to understand the question at all. You won't really know what it's asking. So the vocabulary is really important, especially the earth science centric vocabulary words like biodiversity and like magma plume or like subduction or convection. Like, you need to know what those words mean. And if you don't even know the words that I just said, that's a really big red flag for you that you need to hit your vocab. The next thing is, do not pull an all-nighter. Don't think that it's a good idea to binge 50 videos in a row, and we'll get to the videos in a second, till 3 o'clock in the morning the night before the test. Bad idea. Really, really important to do your target studying and then get some sleep, veg out, relax, get the stress levels down, and we got a couple more things to go over the night before as well. Okay, target videos. If you know your weak points, only watch those videos. Like, think of your absolute weakest points and then only spend your time on there, because at this point, like I said, you can't learn everything at this point. So get your videos in that you really, really, really need. If you think you kind of know everything, watch my cram course videos, watch my survival guide videos. They're an overview of everything. Use those and just, listen to them on 1.5x speed, and then pause if you're like, oh, I don't know what he talked about in that one. Or if you can use your hit the vocab strategy on my videos. If I'm saying words and you're like, oh, I don't know what meteorology even means, like, then you can go and look that up. Call your friends. If you know friends that are also taking this test, call them, quiz each other, FaceTime, get a FaceTime group going with like 5 people that you know are taking it, and just quiz each other. Be like, oh, how are you guys feel about, rocks and minerals? Like, do you know what vitreous means? Do you know what frequency means? Do you know what wavelength is? Do you know what supergiant is? Like, that's what you should do. You should think of what you're strong in and ask your friends about that, so you can like quiz yourself and help teach them, and then have them do the same back, and then you can, get on the same wavelength. Then it's fun. Oh, same wavelength. See what I did there? Okay, this one's important. We can't really know what they're going to put on this. Remember on that first Regents, they had a question on cheetahs, right? It doesn't matter what they ask about. The clusters can be anything as long as they relate to the big picture topics. And then you're just going to have to use that extra information and tables and data tables in the cluster and apply what you know and get through it. So there's no possible way to know exactly what they're going to put on this. And let me tell you, based on what we've seen so far, we're in for some surprises, definitely. Like, there's going to be no way to know. Like, maybe we'll have a cluster on Mr. Beast and they will somehow relate that to Earth science. Who knows what they're going to do? But there's no way to actually pinpoint study everything that they're going to put on it. It's literally impossible. You can't know. So the best you could do is just prepare all you can with all the background knowledge you know, and then get ready to just get there and apply that knowledge. The next thing is prep your supplies. Make sure you have your scientific calculator, your water bottle, your Ziploc bag with your pens and your pencils, all that stuff, your yellow highlighters. Get everything together now, all set, so that you don't have to think about it that morning, right? Make sure you know what time you're supposed to show up to this test and when the test is. A lot of school districts have wiggle room about when they can do it. Do not go by based on what it says on the internet. Call your test service place, wherever that is, and say, what time do I need to be there? What time are you administering the test? You don't want to be 2 hours early, obviously, but you don't want to be 2 hours late. So have your parents or you call up and find out the exact time that you're supposed to be at your location. Very, very important. The next thing is sleep. Make sure you get at least get 7 hours. Like, come on, 7 hours is not that much to ask. Don't go in there with 4 hours of sleep. Your brain is not at maximum greatness at 4 hours of sleep. Trust me, it's probably not at maximum greatness even at 6 hours of sleep. So if you want to have all the edges you can, this is an easy one. Get some sleep, go to bed, and be energized that morning and ready to go. So that leads us into here. Show up locked in and ready. When you get there, no, there's nothing else you could do at this point. You're in the hands of the earth science gods. So send the earth science gods a prayer that you want to have all the power in the universe to be able to know everything that's going to be on the test, and just go and be like, all right, this is it. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to do my highlighting. I'm going to read everything. I'm going to make sure I don't skip around. Just go in order. Look at all your data tables. Read all your graphs, your titles of your graph, your data tables, all the little words, all the sequencing. They like to do that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 thing where things go in order in the data table. You read them in that order. Write little notes. I find a really good tip is if they have a graph and there's a relationship on the graph, like let's say it's like time versus glacial ice loss or something like that. Right next to it, really quick, it'll take you 10 seconds, what the relationship on the graph is showing. Be like, as time increased, glacial ice mass decreased. Something like that. So just a little bit on the side. So that way, when you're going through the cluster and you're on like question 4 of the cluster, you can go back and be like, oh, I don't have to like reinterpret or remember what that graph is. I could just like remember what I wrote. Another good piece of advice is when you get to the end of the cluster, like here's an example. Let's say it says, oh, base your answers to the next questions, whatever, 12 to 16 on the information below. Once you get past 16, it's like reset button. Now we're going to the next cluster. Like nothing else in that past cluster matters anymore. Now, if it's the same topic, you might be able to get help from a past cluster coincidentally, but only think in chunks. Once I get past a cluster and I read the next, I'm like, oh, now I'm basing my answers to question 20 to 25 on this next part. Like I erased what I just went by, because then your brain gets overloaded. And by the time you're like 2 hours into these tests, like you've read so much, it's like very overwhelming. So just kind of try to truncate everything. And if you get stuck on something, just put a big star on it. Or if you're circling, like let's say you don't you're like, oh, I already spent 4 minutes on this question. I'm still not sure, but I'm 50-50 and I'm not sure. Just, we got to move on here. So circle B or whatever you 50-50 you think, put a big star on it, and like, you got to move. Like, you can't spend like 10 minutes on a question, is you're never going to finish. So that's like key. So, and then, at the end, then you go back and hit those ones, but at least you like made it through the whole test. So I got another video coming tomorrow, definitely. If you have any other questions, leave them in the comments. Thanks so much for sticking around. Good luck. And if you can, share my videos with your friends. I'm trying to help people get through this test as best as I can. Remember, I'm not going to see the test. Even after you take it, I don't have access to it for a little while. So I'm going to be very interested on how it was and what you thought. So please tell me after the test and whatever, your thoughts about it, how you thought it went. And eventually, once they release the test, I'll make a whole video and I'll go through and solve all the questions for you. Okay? All right. Thanks for sticking around. Good luck. You got this. Stay positive and stay stress-free, and make sure you go to bed. All right? See you later. Bye.